Alright folks, so what I wanted to do here is a quick video review of the Olight H1R Nova flashlight that also works as a headlamp. But before I do, why don't you go grab yourself a nice cold one, come on back, and we'll get started. Alright, so hopefully everybody made it back. Before we start talking about this flashlight, I did want to mention that I was contacted by Olight, and they asked if I would do a review of this particular flashlight. And of course I said yes. I'm a huge fan of Olight. They've been a great supporter of the TheSmokinApe channel. I love making videos, and I like making videos about flashlights. So I agreed, and they sent this on over. Now, one of the things I did want to mention is that coming up June 24th through the 27th of 2017, OlightStore.com, and I'll include some links below, are having a sale on a lot of their products, and some of those products are going to be marked down up to 40% off. It's to celebrate their 10th anniversary in business. So go over and check out their website, and you might be able to get a good deal on a flashlight that you've been thinking about picking up. Alright, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the packaging that the flashlight ships in. It's pretty nice. It comes in a cardboard box, and it has some markings on here where it shows the flashlight different applications. And then on this side, it shows the two different flashlights that you can get. You can get a cool white or a warm white flashlight. The product that was shipped to me comes in cool white. I also have some information down here about the 5-year warranty. And then on the back of the packaging, it tells a little bit about the features of the flashlight and also some of the flashlight specifications. Being that I got the cool white flashlight, in turbo mode, it starts off at 23,000 lumens. And it's my understanding this is the brightest ANSI certified flashlight that works as a headlamp on the market right now. So what happens is that at 1 minute you step down from 2300 lumens to 750, and it can run on 750 lumens for 110 minutes. Now on the high mode, you get 600 lumens for 2.5 hours. On the medium mode, you get 150 lumens for 10 hours. On the low mode, you get 30 lumens for 50 hours. And the moonlight mode at 1 lumen for 45 days. You can also see that this is drop rated at 1.5 meters. It's waterproof rated at IPX8. Now the IPX rating is a little bit confusing, but at IPX rating 8, IPX rating 8, it's up to the manufacturer to really determine the specifications. I know that this flashlight will operate underwater. It can be submerged up to 1 meter deep and can stay underwater for up to 30 minutes. It also has been rated to work at pressurized water shooting at the flashlight. So if you're out in the rain or something like that, in pretty heavy rain, you should be good to go. It uses a CREE XHP50 LED emitter to generate the flash or the light. I'll put a link below to CREE's website that talks about this particular LED. What's nice about it is that it can get brighter with less lumens and generate less heat, and as a result you get a brighter light that can run a little bit longer. See, the other thing is it weighs 3.53 ounces or 100 grams, and that's including the battery. Some of the things a flashlight ships with are an instruction manual, and we don't read instruction manuals, along with a USB charger, a magnetic charger that connects to the bottom of the flashlight. It also obviously comes with a flashlight, and it comes with the headband, and it comes with some foam that you can use to replace the foam that's on your headband. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this in and start charging, so we can see how this works. And for the charging, I'm just going to use this Anchor battery. So you can see, as it's charging the flashlight, it charges with the light red. This light will turn green once the flashlight or the battery in the flashlight is fully charged. Let's just take a quick look at some of the operating modes in the instruction manual. And basically what this does is tells you how to cycle through the various modes when you're using your flashlight. Now when you take a look at this flashlight, it's an obvious upgrade from the Olight H1R Nova, which runs on a RCR123 or CR123 lithium-ion battery. I really like the H1R Nova. It has a really lightweight headband. It's a lightweight flashlight, and it has an actuator button here at the top, just like the H2R. One of the criticisms of the H1R is that the run times are relatively low for the flashlight. And I think that part of that has to do with the brightness, but also probably has something to do with the internal circuitry. A lot of that has been fixed on the H2R. The run times are significantly longer on this light, and it's also much brighter. I'll include a link to the review I did of the H1R at the bottom of this video, and then that way you'll be able to click that link and watch that video and see the differences between the flashlights. But this looks to be a significant upgrade in terms of brightness and runtime on a flashlight. It's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit heavier, so you can make the determination of which of these lights is most appropriate for you and your needs. I'm really happy with both of them, but I'll likely be grabbing the H1R more than the H2R as a headlamp option, because I just feel that this is a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to maneuver. I do think, and I have carried this H2R as my everyday flashlight for the last couple days. It works out really great, and I love the 90-degree angle of the emitter. Alright, so take a look at the flashlight itself. There's just a couple things to notice. It does come with a clip-on pocket clip that you can easily remove, and you have to remove if you're going to connect it to the headlamp or the headband option. This is a little bit different than previous pocket clips for Olight flashlights, in that it's doubled. So you can clip it tip up, or you can clip it tip down. Not really sure why you'd want to clip it tip down, but this gives you some options to clip the flashlight to maybe the brim of a hat or some other piece of structure, and then operate the flashlight in a hands-free option. It's pretty handy. Has some nice heat sinks on the back. It has some traction plan here. I wouldn't call it knurling, but there is some grooves in the flashlight to make it so you can hold on to it pretty easy. So when you take a look at the lens of this flashlight, it's a TIR lens, which really helps flood the area that you're illuminating with your flashlight. It also has some texturing on here, and what that does is it really makes it cast a very wide angle when you turn this flashlight on, and lights up the entire area. If you want a flashlight that goes a little bit further, you want something that's referred to as a thrower, and basically what that does is it throws the light from the flashlight a little bit of a longer distance. This really lights up the area around you, and you'll see that in some beam shots that I'll put in at the end of the video. As I mentioned earlier, you turn this flashlight on and off with the button on the top of the flashlight. And if you take a look at the bottom, you can see the charging base, and you can see the polarity of the charging base, and it also has a warning on here about shorting it out. One of the things that you need to be careful of is that if you do put this in your pocket or in a bag where maybe a key touches both of these terminals, you could short this flashlight out. You could also drain the battery, and you could have a potential hazardous situation on your hands. The user manual does warn against shorting out this flashlight. Let's go ahead and step through the cycles of the flashlight now. So with the flashlight off, if I turn the flashlight on by holding the button in, I get moonlight mode, and you can see it there. Very easy to turn off, just click it once. If I hold the flashlight button in, I will get moonlight mode until it goes off. And what that does is locks out this flashlight. So if you accidentally hit this button, the only thing that will happen is it goes into moonlight mode while the button is pressed in. To turn that off, you just hold the button in until it goes out. And now we're back to normal operations. The flashlight has memory, so when I go ahead and I turn it on, it goes back into moonlight mode, and I can hold this on to step through low, medium, high, and a double tap from any mode will take me to turbo. And that's the 2300 lumens that we spoke about. It's very bright. Also, from any mode, if I hit the lit button 3 times, then I go into SOS. One of the things I wanted to do is talk a little bit about the battery that comes with this flashlight. It's a 3.6 volt 18650 lithium ion battery. It comes in at 3000 milliamps. Now a lot of people will say things like, well, why is it only 3000? You can get more than that. You can get 3500, you can get 3400 in a battery. But what you have to realize is that this flashlight is built to be very bright. And the more milliamps that you have in a battery, that means you have more energy in that battery. The more energy you have, the denser your battery contents are. The denser the battery contents are, the slower the battery emits energy in the form of amps. So it might be a little bit lower, so you can get more energy dispersed from this battery quicker and generate the brightness that you need for the CREE LED that we spoke about earlier. One thing that you notice is this is called a button top battery. Flat top batteries do not work in this flashlight. Just mechanically on the inside of the flashlight, they don't work. You need to have a button top. The other thing is that you should use this, it's considered a custom battery for your flashlight in order to charge it. What I've noticed is if you put other flashlights in the battery, it will not charge. Additionally, other batteries that have circuit protection, which this battery says it has. Let's see if I can get a zoom on that. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. But and maybe you can see it there. But it says this battery does have built-in overcharge and undercharge protection. When I take a different battery like this Olight, you see this is 3.6 volt 18650. When I go ahead and I put this battery in the flashlight, you can see that it won't charge. It's not even registering the batteries being on here. This battery is in need of a charge, and this should be turning red, but it doesn't because it won't charge the battery. The other thing is that if I take this flashlight and I try to jump to turbo mode with a double press, you see it turns itself off really quick. What happened there is that my overcharge protection has activated in this battery. And the reason it does that is this battery is not designed to deliver the amperage required for this flashlight to operate in turbo mode. Hopefully I didn't cook this battery. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get this flashlight configured in the headlamp or in the headband that it comes with. We're going to go outside and we're going to do some beam shots, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about it when we're done. Alright, so here's the flashlight in its headlamp configuration. And what you do is use these silicone straps to hold the flashlight sturdy into the head mount. And when you do that, you can turn this back and forth, but it isn't loose, it's very tight. And as a result, this thing will not move up or down. So what's handy about this is that if you're walking and you want to keep an eye on the ground, you can point it down, or if you need to look further out, you can turn it, adjust it so you can see further out. It's pretty handy this way. I'm going to undo the silicone strap real quick and then show you that there is a magnetic, you can hear it clicking there, mount inside the actual strap itself, which holds the flashlight relatively sturdy. I would not do this if I was going to be running around or walking around. It might be an easy way to put it on there, but I think I would use this silicone strap to hold it steady if I was using it in the headlamp configuration. Now, taking a look at the actual headband itself, on the back of it, you can see that there is some padding here. You can remove this padding and remove the magnet if you want. I did see some other folks talking about this flashlight on the internet, and what they said was that they can remove the magnet to reduce the weight of the headlamp. I didn't find it heavy, and I didn't find it distracting to wear this on my head. Now, typically when I use headlamps, I do not have one that has this overhead piece of elastic. It's always just a headband that goes all the way around your head, and I find that to be my preferred style of headlamp. But with this headlamp being an 18650 battery and a little bit bigger, I do think that the overstrap is merited. Now, this elastic that they use is very comfortable, it's very soft, and it's quite stretchy, and it's adjustable on the top and then also around the sides of your head. It's also very adjustable. It's quite comfortable, and I think Olight's done a great job with it. Alright, here we go. We're going to do some beam shots of the H2R headlamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out in front of the camera with the headlight on, and then we'll be able to see the flashlight as I cycle through the various modes. As I walk out, I'm going to initially have it on the low mode. Okay, and I thought I would do a close-up of some trees that are out in the middle of this field, and I want to cycle through the light. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and it should go back to high. So there it is in high. I accidentally turned it off there. So we're back at high. There's medium. Low, medium, high. Turbo. Alright folks, so we're back from doing the outdoor beam shots, and one of the things I wanted to say is that this is a very capable flashlight. I'm impressed with the build quality, the options, and just the overall progression and quality that Olight's had over the last few years. They've definitely been putting out some great products at affordable prices. I'll include a link to this flashlight below where you can pick it up at olightstore.com. It runs $89.95, but as I mentioned, there is going to be a sale. Maybe you can pick it up at a little bit of a lower price. Keep in mind this flashlight also comes with a customized battery, and so you have to factor that into the cost of a flashlight as well. Anyhow, like I mentioned, I'm really happy with this flashlight. I like it a lot. I'll probably carry it as an EDC flashlight more than I'll use it as a headlamp. But again, if I was going camping or I was going to be outside doing outdoor activities for a long period of time, I probably would take this as a headlamp because it has longer run times and it has increased brightness from the H1R. Anyhow, if you like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up button or subscribe for more content.